Welcome to my presentation. I'm Catherine Zorb, and today I'm going to talk about traveling with carry-on luggage only. I travel extensively, both for business and pleasure, and I've made it a mission to never check a bag. I do this regardless of the type or the length of the trip, and I'm going to go over how you can too. I learned to pack light at an early age. My family lived internationally and traveled extensively, and my parents had one rule. Only 2 suitcases came with us. My parents shared one, and my sister and I shared the other. This is so they did not have more luggage than they could handle. We usually checked those 2 bags, but the important thing was that we did not have too much. The more we brought, the more we had to keep track of. The more we brought, the heavier the bags were. Light packing was essential. I sometimes hated the 2 suitcase rule. As we got older, my sister and I would argue for more space in our shared suitcase. I vowed that when I grew up, I'd pack as much as I wanted and check all the bags I had in my possession. Then I grew up, and I took a long trip through Europe, and let me tell you, it only took one trip of hauling several overstuffed pieces of luggage through cobblestone streets and getting stuck in a subway turnstile in Italy for me to run screaming back to the light packing ways of my parents. After having luggage both lost and damaged, I decided that not only was I going to pack light, I was not going to bother to check a bag at all anymore, and that carry-on was the way to go. When people find out that I take carry-on only, I get a variety of reactions from, well, you must not travel for more than a week at a time, to, I guess you don't take any business trips. I have done carry-on only in situations that range from 3 weeks in Sri Lanka, including a formal wedding, short and long business trips, and informal trips that lasted a weekend. I pack the same for all of these situations. The first thing I decide on is which piece of luggage to use. For example, on a business trip, I'd likely use my Zuka Pro suitcase. It is wheeled and looks very business-like. It looks professional, which is important when I'm traveling for business. My husband travels for business as well, and he loves his Zuka Pro. For a less formal trip, I usually take a backpack, like the eBags Weekender. I like it because it can be a suitcase or a backpack, and it has a lot of handy pockets. It also squishes well, so I could cram it under my airline seat if it was absolutely necessary. It is not as attractive, which is why I leave it at home for more formal trips. Once I decide what piece of luggage to take, I decide on what I'm going to wear. I look at my itinerary and see what types of clothes I need. Will I be doing anything that requires formal wear? Will I be participating in outdoor activities? What kind of accommodations am I staying in? Will I have access to a washer and dryer, or will I need to hand wash things if I need to clean anything? Taking a moment to think about what type of trip I'm taking helps me bring the right kind of items. Since I'm not taking much, this step is crucial. I use the capsule wardrobe concept regardless of the type of trip I'm taking. This means that everything I bring must match everything else. Numerous outfits can be made out of a few pieces if you can mix and match. I choose one color story and I use accessories to jazz it up. I also pay attention to the types of fabrics my clothes are made of. If I'm taking a long trip, it's not uncommon for me to have to hand wash laundry in a sink, so I choose fabrics that will dry quickly and resist wrinkles. I usually take about 10 pieces, which would include 4 tops, 3 bottoms, 1 dress, and 2 sweaters or jackets, depending on the type of trip and the weather. My 10-piece packing list does not include underwear, night clothes, accessories, or outerwear, such as a winter coat. I take 2 pairs of shoes at most, the one I'm wearing at the airport and a dressier pair in my bag. I roll everything and pack all of my clothes into packing cubes, which helps reduce bulk and keeps everything together. Packing cubes help me avoid overpacking from the start. If I can't get in a packing cube, it's staying home. I also have a packing cube that just contains night clothes and 1 complete outfit that I keep on top of my bag. I do this in case I have to gate check at the last minute. It happens, and I can put this cube in my purse and have it in case my bag gets lost or misplaced. So I have something to sleep in and change into while the airline locates my bag. Liquids present a problem since the TSA changed the rules to 3-ounce bottles or less that must fit into a 1-quart Ziploc bag. When that rule was made, I decided to reduce my liquids as much as possible. I travel with a solid shampoo bar and powdered toothpaste. Both of these items can be found in health food stores or online and do not need to go into the quart bag. Since I wash my clothes on the road, I pour some powdered detergent in a bottle, which also does not have to be put in the bag. I also look for ways to reduce things as much as possible. For example, rather than taking a 3-ounce bottle of foundation, I put a small amount in a contact lens case. For the things I cannot live without, I try to find travel sizes, or I put them in travel bottles that could be purchased at stores like Target or Walmart. I do take electronics on my trips, but I try to pare those down as well. If my iPad mini will do, then that's all I'll take. I also have a Chromebook that usually takes care of the majority of my computing needs while on the road. If I have to, I'll bring a laptop, but I do try to avoid it. I really go through what I'm going to be doing during this trip. I usually don't regret not bringing more technology, and on the few occasions I wish I had a more substantial computer, the hotel's business center was usually able to help out. I've heard of people who only bring a smartphone, but I'm not quite that advanced yet. Traveling light has been a blessing, and I've been able to enjoy trips to the fullest without having to worry about my stuff. I never need a bellhop to carry things, I never lose my luggage, and while others are waiting by the luggage carousel for the bags to come out, I'm in a taxi and on my way to my first adventure. I hope you're inspired to try carry-on only. I doubt that you'll ever look back.